This day, the Russian military carried out a second missile strike on the town of Malyn, Zhytomyr region. This was announced by Malyn mayor Alexander Sitailo. The infrastructure of Ukrzaliznytsia and about 150 homes, one apartment building among them, a number of shops and a cafe, some industrial enterprises were damaged. Unfortunately, we have one dead person, an employee of Ukrzaliznytsia. We also have 4 wounded. 3 of them are Ukrzaliznytsia employees and 1 is a resident of Malin. All the wounded are hospitalized and receive the necessary medical care. The Center Air Command reported on Facebook that the air defense units had destroyed 4 cruise missiles flying in the direction of Zhytomyr region the current day. On the night of May the 23rd, as a result of the shelling of Korosten, the railway infrastructure was hit. Vitaly Bunechko, the head of Zhytomyr Regional Military Administration, told about it. Around 2 and 4 a.m. explosions were heard in Korosten. At 4 o'clock there was a hit on the railway infrastructure. At 2 o'clock the air defense worked and the shell part fell on one of the residential areas. It later became known that the wreckage of the downed missile damaged 3 houses. Another shell damaged an industrial facility. Preliminary, there are no casualties. During the current day, the Russian army has shelled the town of Bilopillia and its environs in Sumy region. According to the head of Sumy Regional Military Administration Dmytro Zhivitsky, the Russian military launched missiles from their territory, fired from self-propelled artillery units, and then launched an airstrike. As a result, private homes were damaged, 11 of which were severely damaged. There are no human casualties. Dmytro Zhivitsky said that mortar fire had also been opened in the northern part of Shostka district. For the last 24 hours, the Russian military killed 5 civilians in Donetsk region. This was announced by the head of Donetsk Regional Military Administration, Pavlo Kyrylenko. Several settlements in the region came under fire, including Bakhmut. 2 districts of the town were hit by missile strikes. According to preliminary information, no casualties were reported. The northern outskirts of Bakhmut came under fire. A local agricultural enterprise was damaged. One of the missiles hit a hangar with agricultural machinery, the other one fell nearby. Tractors, sawing trailers and other machinery were smashed by the wreckage of the missile and the blast wave. Part of one of the broken tractors was thrown a few tens of meters away. In the house opposite the enterprise, the windows were blown out and the roofs were damaged. Another rocket fired by the Russian military hit a vegetable garden near a private sector house. The ground and fragments were scattered for several hundred meters. There were no casualties among the locals, but the outbuildings, roof and fence were damaged. The electricity was cut off. According to the residents of the affected house, after the shelling, they had to dig up a cat and a dog from under the rubble. The animals were frightened, but survived. The Russian army continues to shell Donetsk region. Not only residential areas, but also shrines are under fire. In particular, the church in the village of Bohorodichne has been hit the current day. In the basement of the building there lived and hid about 100 priests of the church, nuns, monks and children. This was reported by the National Police of Ukraine. There are no victims among the people. However, the hermitage in honor of the icon of the Mother of God was destroyed. This day, representatives of the territorial defense together with the police took the worshippers to a safer place. Among the evacuees there were 20 children. Serhiy Haidai, the head of Luhansk Regional Military Administration, said that an 11-year-old girl from Pryvillia had died at Dnipro hospital the current day. 2 weeks ago she came under artillery fire. She was taken to a hospital in Dnipro with a mine injury, but the child's life was not saved. Haidai also said that a woman from Lysychansk, whose apartment had been hit by a Russian shell, had died the current day. 4 houses were damaged by that shelling. In total, for the past 24 hours, 13 houses were destroyed in Lysychansk and 28 residential buildings were destroyed in Novodruzhsk. In total, more than 70 houses and facilities have been hit in Luhansk region this day, Haidai wrote on his Telegram. An elderly man was injured in Severodonetsk. In Kyiv region, sappers of the National Guard have already found and destroyed about 10,000 explosive devices. They were left by the Russian military. This was reported by the Ministry of Internal Affairs. The agency says that on some days sappers find several hundred dangerous munitions, including shells that are prohibited by the Geneva Convention. Demining work continues in other regions of the country. In particular, in Kharkiv region, according to the head of the Pyrotechnic War Group of the SES of Ukraine, Igor Ovcharuk, 90% of the territory of the region is cleared of explosives. In Mykolaiv region, a group of pyrotechnic works of the main directorate of the SES of Ukraine in Mykolaiv region seized 56 explosive devices the current day. A total of 2,883 munitions have been neutralized since the beginning of the Russian invasion. According to the Ministry of Internal Affairs, in total 300,000 square meters need demining in Ukraine. Cleaning of the territory will last approximately from 5 to 7 years. Today, the Solominsky court of Kyiv has sentenced a 21-year-old Russian soldier, Vadim Shishimarin, who is accused of killing a civilian man in Sumy region. The defendant fully admitted his guilt. The prosecution asked for life imprisonment, while the military's lawyer insisted of changing the qualification of the case, as Shishimarin was following the orders of a senior officer. According to the court decision, the Russian serviceman was found guilty of killing a civilian and sentenced to life imprisonment under the article on violation of the laws and customs of war. This is the first Russian soldier to be convicted of a crime against a civilian.